Have you ever felt that life is rushing by in a blur, days blending together, each one leaving you no time to pause and truly take it all in? Perhaps you wake up to endless notifications, deadlines breathing down your neck, and a world that seems to be perpetually on fast forward. In this relentless race, we often forget to catch a single ray of sunrise, to notice the gentle hush of a breeze, or to savor the warmth of a smile passing us by. But what if you decided, just for a moment, to slow down, not to abandon your responsibilities or become idle, but to reclaim the simple act of being present, to rediscover the lost art of noticing the world around you? Picture a quiet park on a warm morning. In one corner stands a worn, unassuming bench. Every day, an old man settles there alone, yet not lonely. He's not scrolling through a phone, nor is he immersed in urgent tasks. He sits still, watching the interplay of light and shadow, the passing of strangers, the joyful chaos of children at play. Some rush by, thinking he's wasting his time. Others pause, intrigued by the serenity that seems to embrace him. You see, this old man has uncovered a secret in plain sight, that the beauty of life isn't confined to vacations or grand achievements. It's woven into the small, ordinary moments we usually overlook. He noticed that by simply slowing down, he could feel the gentle shift of seasons, hear the laughter of kids running barefoot, and treasure the fleeting sparkle in a passerby's eyes. And in those moments, on that old bench, in the center of a world always in a hurry, he discovered a quiet sense of wholeness. Over the next several sections, we'll explore why living at breakneck speed deprives us of life's subtle wonders, and how we might reclaim them by choosing to move at a gentler pace. We'll delve into the story of the old man and his beloved park bench, dissect the pressures that keep us in fast mode, and outline practical ways to incorporate mindful pauses into our daily routine. Finally, we'll wrap up with a call to action, an invitation for you to slow your own footsteps, even if just a little, and embrace the profound beauty nestled in each unremarkable breath. Because sometimes, the most transformative journey isn't about going farther. It's about learning to stand still long enough to notice where you are and discovering that joy, peace, and wisdom may have been waiting there for you all along. Imagine a tree-lined park bathed in the early morning sun. A gentle breeze meanders through the leaves, casting dancing shadows across a stretch of neatly trimmed grass. In the midst of this calm sits a modest stone bench, its edges worn smooth by years of use. Most people strolling by barely notice it, fixated instead on their phones, their to-do lists, or simply the rush of getting wherever they need to be. Yet, on this particular bench, every day without fail, an old man takes his seat at sunrise. He arrives just as the sky blossoms from dusky pink into vibrant gold. His posture is relaxed, as though he's greeting a dear friend. A hand-carved cane rests beside him, its handle polished by countless hours of companionship. At first glance, you might presume he's merely passing time. But if you approach closer, you'll see the serenity etched in his kindly gaze, a tranquility that suggests he's found something most of us are missing. He lifts his eyes to watch the sunlight stream through the branches, marveling at how the shifting beams make the leaves glow from within. He sits quietly, hands folded in his lap, seemingly immersed in a slow, silent dialogue with the world around him. From across the park, a young professional hurries by, backpack slung over one shoulder. She's late for her next meeting, mind racing with anxiety about pending deadlines. In the flurry of her thoughts, she barely notices the old man until he looks up and flashes a warm smile. Something about that simple gesture compels her to pause, if only for a beat. A hint of curiosity stirs. Who is this man? And what on earth keeps him so content? She edges over to the bench, unsettled but intrigued. Good morning, she offers politely, certain he'll be startled or disengaged. But he responds with a nod and a gentle grin, as though he's been expecting her. After a moment of awkward silence, she blurts out, "You come here a lot, don't you? I've seen you sitting here before, doing well." "Not much." His eyes hold a patient glimmer. "I suppose that's true," he replies in a voice steady as the breeze. "But sometimes, not much is precisely what the soul needs." He gestures to the open field. "Look at the way the sunlight embraces everything it touches. Listen to the rustle of the leaves, it sounds like they're whispering secrets. And if you watch long enough, you'll see how the shadows change shape from one minute to the next." She follows his gaze, somewhat skeptically. Her phone vibrates, but for once, she ignores it, drawn in by his quiet wonder. Indeed, the scene before them is a symphony of subtle movements and gentle hues, children chasing one another around a tree, an elderly couple walking hand in hand, and a shy robin hopping across the grass. Details she would have missed had she continued her usual brisk pace. As minutes slide by, an unexpected calm settles into her chest. Her shoulders relax. She realizes she hasn't checked the time in several moments, a tiny miracle in itself. Finally, curiosity overcomes her caution. "Why do you do this?" she asks softly. "Sit here, day after day, just watching." The old man's expression becomes thoughtful, as if sifting through a lifetime of memories to find the right words. "When I was younger," he begins, "I raced through life. I always believed that to be useful, you had to be on the move, accomplishing, producing, chasing. But I saw how many precious moments I missed, moments that whisper their magic only to those willing to slow down and pay attention." He runs a gentle hand over the bench's worn surface, pausing to trace an old scratch with his fingertips. One day, it struck me, if I never stop to appreciate the small, quiet gifts life offers, then I may as well not be living at all. So I started coming here just for a few minutes each morning at first. Then I realized how much peace it brought me, how many little wonders passed right in front of me. A leaf drifting down on a gust of wind, a squirrel scurrying underfoot, a stranger's sudden burst of laughter. These tiny miracles speak to our hearts, but only if we give them room to be heard. She sits quietly, letting his words settle in. A part of her had always suspected she was missing something vital, but until this moment, she couldn't pinpoint what. Don't you ever feel like you're wasting time? She ventures. He laughs softly in easy, genuine sound. Child, wasting time is spending every waking hour in a state of hurry and never once pausing to treasure the gifts you have. Time spent truly living, truly seeing, hearing, feeling is never wasted. Somewhere in the distance, a jogger's footsteps pound heavily on the path, and a flock of pigeons takes flight in a sudden flurry of gray wings. The sun has risen higher, warming the top of the bench until it almost glows. She notices how the old man leans in slightly, eyes shining, as if greeting an old friend. And there, on that bench, she feels her own frantic pulse begin to slow. For a fleeting instant, she glimpses the world through his eyes, shimmering with color and life, urging her to breathe, to listen, to simply be. She decides to linger a little longer than planned, letting the tasks and deadlines drift to the back of her mind. They exchange no more words, letting the gentle hum of the park be conversation enough. But in that silent companionship, a quiet bond is formed, one that crosses the usual divides of age and circumstance. When she finally stands to leave, she's not exactly sure what has changed, but something has a seed of newfound awareness planted by the old man's calm presence and the soft allure of a single, worn bench. Stepping away, she takes one last look at the man who remains behind. He seems at peace, as though at home in a world that's in no hurry. And in her heart, she carries a fresh curiosity about what might happen if she, too, chose to slow down, if just for a moment each day, to truly taste the sweetness of a life so many of us rush through without ever really seeing. Why is it so hard for us to slow down? If we step back and observe the world around us, we see a culture that idolizes speed, faster results, bigger achievements, constant connectivity. From the moment we wake up, it's as if an invisible clock is ticking loudly over our heads, reminding us of the tasks yet to be done, the notifications awaiting our attention, the emails piling up in our inbox. We've grown accustomed to rushing, often measuring our worth by how efficiently we can juggle deadlines and demands. But in doing so, we risk losing touch with the subtle, life-giving details that exist between the bullet points of our to-do lists. the roots of our hurry. Modern society frequently rewards productivity above all else, tying our sense of accomplishment to how much we can get done in a day. We chase career milestones, hustle through side projects, even structure our leisure time around the idea of getting the most out of it. In many ways, technology fuels this pace. Our smartphones, watches, and tablets beep incessantly to mark each passing moment as an opportunity to do more. Social media amplifies the feeling that if we slow down, we might miss out on some pivotal experience or achievement someone else is flaunting. It's no wonder many of us operate in a near constant state of mild anxiety, worrying about whether we're falling behind. Misconceptions about slowing down. For some, slow living sounds like an excuse to dodge responsibilities. It conjures images of lounging around all day without a care in the world. In reality, slowing down is not about avoiding your duties but rather about approaching them with a deeper sense of intention. It means recognizing that our frantic pursuit of doing everything at once can dilute the meaning of what we accomplish. By permitting ourselves to ease off the accelerator, we create room for genuine presence, and with presence comes authenticity and a richer appreciation for the task at hand. How slowing down reveals life's hidden beauty. When we live at a breakneck pace, our senses become dulled. There's too little time to notice the glow of morning sunlight on a dusty windowsill, the gentle hum of a conversation in a cafe, or the laughter in our own voices when we speak with someone dear. We might enjoy a meal, but we devour it so quickly that we hardly recall its flavor. We might step outside for fresh air, but our heads remain stuck in the swirl of thoughts about what's next. Yet, as illustrated by the old man on the park bench, slowing down can open our eyes to countless wonders, small but profound. The pattern of shadows moving across a path, the distant melody of a street violinist, or even the subtle shift in someone's expression can all become sources of awe when our minds aren't perpetually racing. This heightened awareness isn't just pleasant, it's transformative, allowing us to forge deeper emotional connections with our surroundings and the people in them. The psychological and emotional benefits. The toll of constant busyness isn't limited to physical exhaustion. It seeps into our mental and emotional well-being. High stress levels, burnout, and chronic fatigue often result from pushing ourselves too hard without pause. By contrast, those who practice a slower pace frequently report lower anxiety, improved mental clarity, and a stronger sense of groundedness. Why? Because in giving ourselves permission to pause, we restore a sense of balance. Our nervous system shifts from fight or flight mode into a calmer state, enabling us to process information more thoroughly and to respond rather than react to daily challenges. Moreover, taking a slower approach can enhance creativity. When our minds aren't shackled to an endless checklist, they are free to wander, to imagine, and to innovate. Many great thinkers and artists throughout history have spoken about the necessity of unhurried reflection for breakthroughs to occur. It's in those quiet moments, like sitting in a park or gazing at the sky, that inspiration often finds us. The role of mindfulness. At the core of living more slowly is a principle deeply echoed in mindfulness practices: being fully present in the now. Mindfulness teaches us to observe without judgment, to breathe intentionally, and to let go of the mental chatter that keeps us perpetually tense. When we embody mindfulness, we recognize that each moment is fleeting and deserving of our attention. Just like the old men who simply watch the light dance through the trees, mindfulness encourages us to witness the unfolding of life instead of trying to push or pull it to meet our expectations. Common barriers to slowing down, of course. The challenge lies in translating these ideals into a fast-paced world that rarely honors them. We fear that if we slow down, we'll lose our competitive edge, risk being overshadowed by our peers, or let opportunities slip away. We worry about being labeled as unambitious or idle. In truth, these fears are often based on the illusion that we must be on 24/7 to stay afloat. Yet many people who have embraced a more deliberate way of living, like the potter who finds fresh inspiration in each misfire, or the writer who takes a midday walk to spark fresh ideas, will tell you the opposite is true. By allocating space for rest, reflection, and wonder, they've improved their focus, heightened their productivity in key moments, and experienced greater overall well-being. Lessons from the old man. The old man's daily ritual at the park is a reminder that the greatest riches of life may lie in moments that appear unremarkable at first glance. He doesn't seek attention, nor does he measure his day by checklists. Instead, he measures it by the warmth of the sun on his skin, the delicate shift of shadows, and the spontaneous camaraderie sparked by a simple smile. His story highlights an essential truth. The freedom to be truly present isn't a luxury reserved for those with fewer obligations. Rather, it's a choice available to each of us, regardless of how packed our schedules might be. Integrating slow living into modern life. Embracing a slower pace doesn't mean you have to cancel your deadlines or renounce ambition. It means weaving mindful pauses into the fabric of your daily life. Stepping away from your desk for a few minutes of fresh air. Setting aside a moment to breathe deeply before tackling a new project. Or even placing your phone on silent during dinner so you can focus on the people right in front of you. Small, intentional changes can help recalibrate your relationship with time. Ultimately, the old man on the bench stands as an emblem of what is possible if we resist the urge to hurry through our existence. By reclaiming little pockets of stillness, we don't lose anything. On the contrary, we regain the ability to see, to hear, and to feel with greater clarity. And in that gentle shift, life reveals itself to be not a race to some distant finish line, but a tapestry of subtle wonders waiting patiently for us to notice. Slowing down might sound contradictory to productivity, but paradoxically, it can boost focus and prevent burnout. Single tasking. Instead of juggling multiple tasks at once, answering emails, texting, and attending a virtual meeting. Commit to doing one thing at a time. Set a timer for 25 minutes, the Pomodoro technique, to fully devote yourself to the task at hand. Micro breaks. Every hour or so, stand up, stretch, walk to a window. Let your eyes rest on something outside of your screens. Even a minute or two can reset your mental energy. Mindful transitions. When shifting from one task to another, take a couple of deep breaths. This helps you arrive in the new activity with a clearer, calmer mindset, instead of dragging leftover stress from the previous one. Strangely enough, you may find that working more slowly at a focused, deliberate pace actually enhances both the quality and the speed of your output in the long run. 5. Build a slow living community. Going against the grain of a fast-paced society can feel lonely if you do it all by yourself. So why not gather a few friends or coworkers who share your interest in living more mindfully? Organize slow mornings. Maybe you meet once a week at a coffee shop, promising each other that no one will whip out a laptop or phone. Share daily observations. Create a group chat dedicated solely to posting one simple pleasure you noticed each day as sunset, a meaningful conversation, or a particularly aromatic cup of tea. Host mini workshops. Take turns introducing relaxation techniques, like guided breathing exercises or gentle stretching sessions. By fostering a supportive environment, you'll find it easier to sustain your slower rhythm. Plus, it's incredibly validating to share discoveries and see how others benefit from them. 2. 6. Remember, slow is not falling behind. It's important to remind yourself that easing up on constant acceleration doesn't equate to complacency. Think of it more as choosing to align your pace with a more natural flow, a pace that respects your mental health and invites genuine presence. Taking things slowly in certain parts of your life can actually free up mental space, reduce stress, and ultimately allow you to excel where it truly counts. When you catch yourself feeling guilty for not doing more, recall the image of that old man on the park bench. He accomplishes nothing in the conventional sense of tasks or projects. Yet in his stillness, he engages with the world at a deeper level. His gift is a perspective that can't be gained while sprinting through life. By incorporating these practices, you take small but steady strides toward reclaiming your capacity to truly live in the moment. And while it might feel alien at first, especially if you've spent years equating busyness with worth, it can become a welcome sanctuary from the frenzy. The path to a slower, more mindful life isn't about shutting out the world. It's about re-entering it with fresh eyes and an open heart, allowing each moment to unfold without the desperate rush to get to the next. Time has a peculiar way of slipping through our fingers. One moment it's dawn, the next it's dusk, and in the blur, we often miss the subtle miracles unfolding around us. Yet, as we've seen in the story of the old man on the park bench, It only takes a moment of stillness, a conscious decision to slow your pace for the everyday world to reveal itself in stunning detail. He found beauty in the glow of morning light through the leaves and in the quiet hum of people passing by, a testament that life doesn't demand constant motion to be rich in meaning. We've explored how our fast-paced culture pushes us to race through tasks, how we can counter that frenzy through mindful practices, and how each of us can weave slower living into our routines. Slowing down, after all, isn't about forfeiting ambition or success. It's about reclaiming the choice to fully engage with our surroundings and the people we care about. It's about tasting life in all its flavors, rather than rushing through half-experienced moments. Now, I invite you to do something simple, yet potentially transformative. Take a few minutes, maybe even today, to find your own park bench. It could be an actual bench, a quiet corner of your porch, or just a comfortable chair by the window. Stop what you're doing. Breathe deeply. And let yourself notice the little details: shadows shifting, sounds drifting, your own heartbeat slowing. You might be surprised by what you discover when you're not chasing the next thing. If you found these insights helpful, please consider liking this video or post and subscribing to the channel. That way, you'll stay connected and can join me in future explorations of mindful, meaningful living. And if you've had your own experiences, perhaps a moment when you decided to slow down and saw something extraordinary, please share it in the comments section. Your story could inspire someone else to break free from the rush and find joy in the present moment. Thank you for allowing me to walk this path with you. It's my hope that these reflections will encourage you to savor life more deeply, one deliberate breath at a time. Remember, the world may move fast, but you have the power to choose when to pause and how fully to live. Here's wishing you gentle moments of pause, open-hearted wonder, and the courage to embrace them both, no matter how swiftly life may flow around you.